This presentation will be on the KTH house, and it will answer the question of whether or not the KTH house has a competitive advantage. This is done by critically assessing the internal environment as well as the external environment and the business level strategy. KTH House is a Japanese matcha cafe which is owned by the HIH Group. At the moment there are 2 shops in Melbourne, a small one in the Chadstone Shopping Centre and a bigger one in the Emporium Shopping Centre in the CBD. The idea of opening a Japanese matcha cafe in Melbourne found its roots in the increasing popularity that the Asian product gained between Australian citizens. KTH House has been a success in its field since the beginning because it's managed to create an offer which delivers Japanese matcha tea in formats that are typically appreciated by Australians. For the purpose of this video, we have interviewed some employees from the Chadstone store.
Managers face uncertainty because of a number of issues. Considering KTH House in particular, there is one microeconomic factor that would be determinant, and this is the shift in customers' demand. We refer in particular to the seize of the matcha trend that has hit Australia in the last 5 years, and no one really knows how long this trend will last. Moreover, we have to consider also 2 macroeconomic factors. The first one is a change in immigration patterns. We know, in fact, that Asian people, Asian countries in general, have chosen Australia as a main country to immigrate to, mainly because Australia is the closest, safe and attractive Western country, and it also has an open mindset towards different cultures. However, if for any reason the Australian hype towards Asian culture in particular would change, this would have a great impact on KTH House because more than 50% of its customer base is made of Asian people. The second macroeconomic factor we have to consider instead is a change in trading agreements between Australia and Japan. This is because KTH House imports the matcha powders and bags directly from Uji, Japan, which is the country and place of origin of matcha tea. And therefore, if for any reason there would be an increase in taxation on international trade, KTH House would hugely affected by it. In particular, an increase in taxation will mean an increase in costs for the company that will try to cover them by increasing also its prices. And customers facing higher prices would probably go for cheaper options.
I'm going to present to you the resources of KTH House. So in our case, tangible resources, they take form in everything that is sort of physically visible and that is necessary for the normal operation of KTH House. This of course includes the high quality green matcha tea powder that is exported from Japan, but also everything else that is needed for the operation, including, for example, the employees and of course any other long and short-term assets. We also have the intangible resources. In this case, for KTH House, this would include the high quality of its matcha powder, as well as its good reputation among customers, the customer-friendly employees, as well as its strong online presence. Another intangible asset of KTH House is basically the fact that they have a fixed menu, but they're creating different varieties throughout the seasons in order to spice it up, offering, for example, a summer edition or a winter edition with more creations. And this continuous creativity is also, in that sense, a intangible resource.
According to resource-based view analysis, a competitive advantage is sustainable if it is valuable, rare, inimitable, and non-substitutable. Let's go through each of them. In terms of viability, KTH House offer is valuable because it captured the potential of the rising trend of matcha tea in Australia. It can also be considered rare because of the high quality and provenience of its matcha powders and because it offers a huge variety of forms in which matcha can be delivered to customers. However, the offering is not inimitable because the provenience of its powders does not make its products taste any better than competitors' ones. Moreover, producing matcha teas and ice cream does not require any outstanding technological advancement, and there is no secret ingredient that makes KTH House products special. Therefore, the offer can be considered substitutable, as there are a wide range of competitors that offer different alternatives to matcha both in hot and cold forms.
The external environment is made up of three different parts: the general environment, the industry environment, and the competitive environment. The general environment consists of dimensions of broader security that influence an industry and the firms within it. Firms cannot directly control the general environmental segments, which are comprised of demographic, economic, political, socio-cultural, technological, global, and physical. We have therefore chosen to go more in-depth in the industry environment and the competitor environment. We have defined the industry in which KTH House operates as the tea industry in general. Norman Morris, Industry Communications Director at Roy Morgan Research, said the following regarding the tea industry in Australia. 1 in every 2 Australians that is aged 14 or above is drinking tea at least once in an average of 7 days. So therefore, hot tea is one of the country's most popular non-alcoholic beverages. In total, this is truly a huge consumption of tea, and experts predict the industry to be a future growing industry. An industry developing in such a manner is beneficial for a firm such as KTH House. More precisely, the KTH House operates in a market segment of matcha green tea. From our interview with the store manager, we found out that the founder of KTH House saw the opportunity and they took advantage of the conditions in the industry when they opened a niche store focused on matcha green tea. This differentiates them from other competitors. According to an article from the Harvard Business Review, there are 5 forces that shape industry competition. The illustration shows them as threat of new entrants, bargaining power of buyers, threat of substitute products or services, bargaining power of suppliers, and the rivalry among existing competitors. For KTH House, the threat of new entrants is a big concern. There is always the possibility that a larger firm outcompete KTH House with, for example, lower prices. There is little bargaining power of buyers, as the prices that the KTH House sets are already slightly above the average matcha prices. However, of course, they could not skyrocket them. The bargaining powers of suppliers is, from our information, surprisingly low, as the store manager told us in an interview that their suppliers are good friends in Japan. There is, however, a big threat linked to substitute products, as there are pretty much any other beverages that can be substituted for green tea. This would include other hot beverages as well as cold beverages, taking the form of coffee, other types of tea, as well as chai lattes. Concerning the rivalry among existing competitors, we have identified 3 other direct competitors that also offer matcha green tea, as shown in this strategic group map. The store manager revealed there's however not much rivalry going on between them and that they are all friendly competitors. We have chosen to leave out other competitors that offer substitute because of the massive amounts of stores.
Every company must form a business-level strategy, and is one of the most important components to assess when we have to determine whether a business is likely to have an overall competitive advantage. The most popular model to analyze which kind of business-level strategy a company implements, according to business economics, is Michael Porter's 5 generic competitive strategies. As shown in the diagram, the 5 strategies are built upon 2 dimensions, and the combination of each of them determines a particular strategy. The 2 dimensions are the following. Target market, whether it's broad or narrow, concerns whether the business should pursue several segments or focus on one specific segment. Competitive advantage, whether it's low cost or differentiation, concerns whether a business offers either the products differently, e.g. low cost, or offer different products than their competitors. In the interview, it clearly emerged that KTH House, its competitive advantage is differentiation. First of all, their prices are a little bit more higher than the competitors, thus ruling out low cost as a competitive advantage. Furthermore, KTH House tries to differentiate from its competitors by offering high quality green tea from Ui. The tea powder and tea bags all come from Japan. Moreover, KTH House offers ice cream and tea, which is a combination that's not very common. They also highlighted that they are constantly working on their menu to make it as good as possible, while constantly creating additional summer specialties. When it comes to whether they have a broad or narrow customer group, KTH House reckon that it's quite wide. They explain that they have customers in all age groups and that around 50% of their customers are loyal Asians. Their main segment is people having Asian origin, and regardless of the prices, probably Asians with some buying power. At the same time, there are a lot of Asians in Melbourne, so the main segment isn't very narrow. From the outside, it does look more like a niche business. However, KTH House themselves believe that they have a broad target market. Furthermore, Laudan explains how culture, and in particular cultural change, becomes aligned with consideration of competitive advantage and strategy. Since tea is an Asian culture, having a large group of customers from Asia could be a competitive advantage.
According to SWOT analysis, there are 4 factors that need to be taken into consideration. Regarding KTH House, its strengths are represented by high-quality matcha coming from Japan, a wide variety of offering that goes from ice creams to iced teas and lattes, and special editions as well. In fact, KTH House prepares an additional menu in summer, consisting of free soft drinks that mix matcha with fresh ingredients such as pineapple or mint to reproduce the flavor of typical summer drinks like piña colada or mojito. Weaknesses instead are represented by the fixed menu, which does not change according to the seasonal demand. For instance, KTH House still offers ice creams and iced teas in winter, even though customers barely buy them. Moreover, prices are slightly higher compared to competitors, and the company does not target a specific group of customers, especially in terms of age. Therefore, it is hard to implement a specific strategy to attract them. Regarding opportunities instead, it is important to mention an expansion in other cities like Sydney, where tea has become so popular that they held an annual tea festival there. Moreover, as the company has already done, it is also crucial an expansion product line. KTH House, in fact, is now selling powders directly to its customers in store to meet the needs of those customers that view matcha not only as a fancy drink, but mainly as a healthy product that they would consume at home rather than in the store with their friends. Finally, threats are represented mainly by competitors, both those ones that sell low-cost matcha and those ones that sell similar beverages like bubble teas, coffees, or chai lattes.
Even though it could have the potential to do so, according to the VRIN analysis, however, a real competitive advantage simply does not exist. This can be explained through the following. On the one hand, KTH House offers very high quality matcha tea. However, it does not pursue its full potential, as it still offers a variety of other products, rather than focusing on inventing even more matcha creations. In addition, they do not focus on one particular segment of the market, but try to satisfy everyone's needs. And therefore they are not able to develop a niche strategy, which would be essential if you're selling such a specific product as they are. This can be seen on the fact that they are not focusing on one particular customer target group, nor one particular product. Therefore, the competitive advantage is not sustainable in the long run, because KTH House does not offer anything new from the competitors except the province of tea.